Welcome to the Dungeon Crawl Classics Road Crew game Stories from Valtara. I'm your judge, Judge Shadowfoot. This will be an ongoing actual play of the Dungeon Crawl Classics RPG in a homebrew region of my making. We will follow a group of villagers as they seek to be more than just lowly craftsmen and peasants, seeking riches and glory through sword and sorcery. Or die trying. The following episode is our session 0 for several of our players, rolling up their villagers, brainstorming some backstories, and identifying their connections to each other. Additionally, I will be covering any changes to the rules as written from the DCC RPG core rulebooks, and giving an introduction to the region of Valtara. If you enjoy these stories, feel free to like and subscribe. And now, welcome to Valtara. So, here's what I wrote up for us. It says, our story begins in the small isolated region of Valtara, a region of mostly humans with dwarves, elves, and halflings finding their place among the populace. The region is lush and full of life. The northern edge of the border is bordered by a thick and dangerous forest. To the east, a jagged, treacherous mountain range, its highest peak shrouded in perpetual clouds. To the south, a widespread marshland consumes anything attempting to head south beyond the region's border. Trade and visitors arrive through the western coastal city of Tidemarch, where the king rules over the region. Legends tell of a massive star falling out of the astral sea and landing somewhere in the eastern mountains decades ago. These stories started a rush of would-be treasure seekers and miners to travel to Valtara and explore the mountains, but over 700 years have passed and no star has been found, leaving just stories, which many believe to be nothing more than rumors, used to lure people to this land in hopes of growing its population and wealth. During this rush, many spellcasters came to this land, hoping the star could be a powerful arcane relic to boost their powers. As the years went by, magic seemed to creep into the wilderness and strange creatures began to appear and cause havoc. Because of this, the central clergy of Goran created the Order of the Scales, a Templar group of mage hunters that tracked down and destroyed all magic users within the realm. You are all villagers, living in and around a central town of Ravenswood, a peaceful settlement along the edge of Ravenswood Lake that acts as the region's central trading and transport hub. The lake is fed by a river coming down from the northern forest that runs out to the coastal city of Tidemarch. The town is in the midst of their annual lunar celebration to pay tribute to the summer solstice. The celebration is known as the Day of Fates. Vendors line the streets, bards and minstrels fill the air with music, street performers entertain the people with lavish acrobatic shows, and tournament games have begun. The prizes on offer would entice any with a few extra coins to try their luck. So the idea of this campaign is you guys are all going to start out as 0-level villagers that live in and around this city of Ravenswood. It's not a walled city. It's basically just a large town kind of settlement. I've already built up the map and things like that, so we'll give you the details of what it looks like as well. I did not put that in Foundry yet, but I'll end up building all that stuff out. The town itself, to the south, is all of the kind of like the farmlands. The central area, there's a large temple to Goran in this central courtyard area, which is where the celebrations are mostly taking place. It has a kind of a harbor area on the lake where, as I said, the river itself is used to transport goods up and down. The northern city, they do a lot of logging and things like that. They send the logs down the river through your town out to Tidemarch. And then things also come up the river towards your city to be spread out throughout the other cities and things in the region. Magic is basically, unless it's holy magic, is persecuted. So there are spellcasters, but it's dangerous to be a spellcaster, especially if you cast out in public. So spellcasters generally keep their magic abilities secret. So finding somebody to train you to become a spellcaster it could be a challenge, but it's definitely doable. So there's no penalty to being a spellcaster. You're allowed to be a spellcaster. Just know that casting it in view of others could cause persecution.
Would elves be persecuted as well then?
As long as they're not casting their magic and things like that, they're not necessarily persecuted. I would say in this area, not all elves generally use their magic, or their magic is more nature-based, so it almost seems as though it is religion or religious, holy kind of. So again, you cast anything that doesn't look like it's holy, then people may persecute you for it, or rat you out to this Order of the Gauntlet.
So, so kind of like being a mole master or in the Forgotten Realms.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Certain parts of the Forgotten Realms magic is illegal. So,
Yeah, so same kind of idea there. Um, way this is going to start is you guys are going to start in the middle of the celebration. I have a bunch of different things that are going on that you guys will be able to participate in, including as the celebration's going on. There is like a strength competition where they're loading carts with stones, and then you have to lift and drag the cart. And then once you get to the other side, they throw another stone in it, and you're basically competing against other people to see how many stones you can drag in your cart. So it's kind of like a strength competition. There's an archery, like target shooting competition. There's basically socializing, dance, and all that kind of stuff that you can roll in to kind of maybe gain favor with certain people in town or gain information like rumors and things like that. There's a drinking competition and a chopping competition. All of these basically cost like 20 copper pieces to enter. First place gets 200 copper. Different competitions have different amounts, and you gain an item. So some of them include like armor, a weapon, different things like that. So it kind of gets you guys your starting equipment through doing these competitions. And then from there, we'll kind of just start off on, you guys are in this town and be able to kind of decide what you want to do. There'll be rumors that you guys can learn. There'll be notice boards, all that kind of stuff. And from there, it's going to be really driven by what your guys' decisions are. I'm going to ask you guys basically at the end of each session, I'll post in the session thread a set of questions that you guys will have a little slight amount of homework. There'll be a couple sessions, like a couple questions, like, what is your character's goal? What does your character want to do next? Like those kind of things, which is just going to help me prep for the next session. That makes sense?
Yep.
Yep.
Excellent.
Is luck going to be burned permanently, or is it going to be?
I'm going to follow the normal DCC rules for luck. So if you are, not a class that generally recovers luck naturally, you're gonna have to find ways and do things where you'll end up, getting that luck back, which we'll discuss, depending on what your character does. Might be just something like playing to your character, RPing well, or those different kind of things to gain that luck back. There will be ways to recover it. It won't be permanent. All right. Leveling up will be kind of like we've been doing, where you have to get back to town and train for a certain amount of time in order to level up. You can do that back in your hometown of Ravenswood, or say you travel for several weeks to a month to get to one of these other cities. If you find somebody there that can help you train and level up, you can do that as well. So you don't have to always come back to this main central hub, especially if you've traveled for a long time. Let me see, what else did I have here that you needed to know ahead of time? Like I said, if you have a specific character class that you want to play, you're going to be allowed to, put your stats where you want. That's most beneficial to that. I'm going to allow you guys you can either roll for your occupations, or if you want to choose, you can choose. Because I want this character to be, the character you want. So let's say you guys went through a 0 level funnel. This is the one that survived, and it's the one that you wanted. That seem fair?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and delete all the character tokens that are on here. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to make a new folder. This new folder will be called Valtara. It'll be under the PCs.
Is this a homebrew setting or?
Yeah, this is just a homebrew setting that I kind of put together.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make characters for each of you. Your characters right now will just be named the same as your Discord. So Tom, you'll be Tom again for now.
So I was actually probably going to go ahead and duck out at this point.
Okay.
Mostly just, it's been a little bit of a scheduling conflict lately. And this just seems like a good point to where we just finished one campaign up, you know what I mean?
Hey, not a problem.
Yeah.
If you do decide to jump back in, that's absolutely fine. In this, kind of campaign, If there is character deaths, they'll be able to roll up a new level 1 character, and I'm basically going to RP, where this character comes from with you. Could be someone that you rescue from a dungeon, or some other kind of things. You meet him in traveling along the roads, or whatever it happens to be. So we may at certain times have characters at different levels. So you might have level 2 characters playing with a level 1 who comes on board, or if you miss a couple sessions, I'm not going to match you guys to the same level. So that we will have times where you have characters at different levels. So if you do want to jump in at a certain time, feel free.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I mean, I think I might in the future. Yeah, it's just like I said, it's been a little bit of a conflict lately, and yeah, just I also was. I didn't realize I didn't see the chat until like an hour before we started. I was like, oh shit. Okay, well, but yeah. So I think I'll go ahead and just duck out for now, and yeah, someone else can hop in. I guess it would be next week or whatever. But yeah. But yeah, so thank you very much though for all the sessions and everything, and yeah, I'll probably see you again in the future. Just probably take a little time off.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining in. Had a great time.
Yeah, thanks
Good
everybody.
luck. Good
Thanks
luck.
for playing with us.
Shadow.
Oh, thank you guys. Great. Have a good
Hey.
one.
You too.
Hey, Shadow, could we take like a 5-minute bio break?
Yeah, go ahead, take your
Before we
bio
go
break.
into
I'm
the
going to
bio
set
break?
up your tokens, and then we'll roll through the characters when you guys get back.
Awesome.
So we're gonna roll in Foundry. We're not gonna roll like on Purple Sorcery or
Yeah.
whatever.
We'll roll it through Foundry together, because like I said, I want you to be able to put your specific skills where you want and do all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Cool.
By the way, you went like a little bit fast, like on the description. We're gonna go back to the description of the setting, right? Like
Yes,
after.
yes, definitely. Yeah, I'll end up probably posting
Okay.
it too, so you can reread it if you want to.
Cheers. In this adventure, it's going to be recorded as well.
Yes, yeah, I'll be recording everything. I'm going to try to put a little bit more effort into like editing it and making it look a little bit better too, because the last sessions I've just been record and post as is. So, this will be my first time working on editing videos, so I want to, we're going to make a campaign here, so I'm actually going to do like intros, outros, and then this session itself. So I'll be doing all that kind of stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a little bit of experimenting and playing around with it for me.
That's actually going to be a really good experience because I only experienced DCC as like one-shots, like modules. So it's going to be good like to see, actually campaign how it works with the system.
We are going to go ahead and, again, start from top to bottom. So we will start with Callie there. So Callie, I think you can see your token on there, right?
Sorry, I was still looking to Carl because I'm going to miss him. Yeah, I can see.
Okay, so I'm going to open it up here. These are going to be level zeros. So for the sheets right now, I'm going to set it as a 0 level NPC. Okay. All right, so for your character, we'll go ahead and roll up your stats to begin with. One other thing I did too is I created a table because I want everyone to have some kind of relationship to the other members in the party. So you guys can come up with your own relationship if you want, or I did create a table where it basically has like what happened to create this bond and what kind of benefit that bond gives you. So it could be something like, it increases your fighting ability when you're together, or increases your AC when you're together, like just random kind of things that are kind of like feats in D&D, random little things like that aren't like overpowered or anything, but when you're with that person, it gives you some kind of benefit.
Cool.
So I did that kind of stuff too for us. So okay, so starting with Callie, go ahead and roll 3d6. And you're going to do that 6 times, and then I'll allow you to put those stats where you want, and I'll fill all the stuff out for you.
So the background of my character is going to depend on this. So if he's really weak, it's going to be one. If he's really powerful, it's going to be another thing.
Well, remember, you're going to be able to put them.
So
You're going to be able to put the
1,
stats where
2,
you want.
3, 4.
You're still hoping for that
5.
that +2 modifier though, or at least some kind of modifier. Do we get one reroll if there's one really bad one?
You know what? I want you guys to be, those kind of characters. So I'll let you roll 7 times, and we'll drop the lowest.
Nice.
So one more time, and we'll drop the lowest. Yeah. Okay, so you're dropping
Like
the
that.
6. So that'll be
Oh
a
shit, I'm
10,
so weak.
a 12, a 13, a 13, an 8, and an 8. So we'll just start with the highest. So you got two 13s. Where do you want the first 13?
Uh, can you give me a few seconds with this? Because I
Yeah.
want to just give a. I'll take a screenshot here of the stats,
Yeah, should we maybe do
and
all
I'll
the
go
rolls
back
first so then
to.
people can think about it?
Tell you what, I'm going to put them just in here wherever, and that way you have the numbers in your character sheet. And let's see, so it's 13, 13, a 12, a 10, an 8, and an 8. So I just went ahead and threw them on your character sheet, and we can move them around from there.
Tell us what you're
Yeah.
thinking, Callie. So
I don't know because I have two 13s. I may be inclined for like a cleric or something. But I'll see. I'll give a check.
Okay. Yeah, we can roll everybody's stats first, and we'll move on from there.
Well, I'm just saying, like, call them out, like, what your intention is, so we can try to spread out the abilities a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm willing to try to whatever, let people roll their stuff, and then I'll try to fill in something that brings some balance to it. You know?
All right. All right.
But Chad, instead of being like 7 and drop the lowest, what do you think about doing like the power character, like 46 drop the lowest?
I want to stay with the 3d6. Like, I don't want to leave DCCs kind of rolling all together. I think the 3d6 is better because I do want
Okay.
it to be.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
yeah.
I think dropping the lowest number is pretty generous.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Nived, you're up next. Go ahead and roll your 7 3d6.
All right, so here's my concept. If possible, if the rolls allow, I'd like to make a thief,
Okay.
and he's gonna be a chaotic thief. And the idea is, I really like the idea you said that the spellcasters are persecuted.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna make him a little bit older, and I'm gonna say that his his son or someone else in his family was a spellcaster that was persecuted, and I'm gonna say, like, if it was his son or something like that, someone who was young and couldn't properly control their magic, so it just happened in public,
Mhm.
and they got ratted out, because I like that idea too, that people would rat them out. And then since then of course, his son was like arrested and disappeared or whatever. He never saw him again, and he just went off the rails after that, and he became the bad thief, the assassin, path of the assassin. And his previous occupation was the barber, so his nickname now is the barber. And because he goes around and he's finding these guys that rat out spellcasters, and who work with the persecutors, or if he can get his hands on the persecutors themselves, that's what he's working towards. And he just wants to quietly take them out, and he's got this name, the barber.
All right.
Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, exactly, that kind of thing. So he's still very much like starting out, but that's like the path he's on.
All right, perfect. So yeah, we'll say that basically your son disappeared maybe a year or two ago, and since then you kind of fell into like a depression for a little while for like your first year, and then your second year you started getting angry and coming to these terms of what am I going to do, and that's where we will start off with your character. Perfect. That's great.
Yeah. So okay, there's the first roll. I'll just roll them all really quick.
Yeah, that's fine.
2,
Ooh, a 16.
3, nice. 4, 5, 6. So you said 7, right? 7
Yep.
times?
Yeah, roll 7 times. We'll drop the lowest. So it looks like
Okay,
we're
one
dropping
more.
the 6 most likely.
Yeah.
Unless you roll worse.
That one. Oh, wow. Okay, so what does that leave you with?
Okay, so you've got 16, a 13,
Yep.
2 11s, an 8,
Okay.
and a 6.
Wow. I'm gonna drop
That
a 6, right?
works.
So I'm assuming agility is going to be your 16?
Yeah.
Okay, so 16 for agility.
Maybe luck will put the 13 in
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah.
As a thief, I need the luck.
You're not going to need your personality if you're going to
No.
be. So.
Yeah, especially if you're going to be that kind of thief.
Yeah. So
Okay.
your strength 11.
Strength 11.
Stamina 11.
Stamina 11.
Yeah, I'll be a bit physical.
All right. So personality, intelligence, which is getting the 8.
Oh yeah, that's a problem.
I'd assume
Ooh,
maybe intelligence 8, personality 6.
yeah. So I dropped a 5, didn't I? Oh, that's horrible. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be a really, really unfriendly, ugly, horrible. Okay, I'm gonna say that's part of it. I'm gonna say when they took my son, I resisted it, and they disfigured me or something like that. Like they did something to me when I tried to stop them from taking my son.
All right. Okay, so strength 11, agility 16, stamina 11, personality 6, intelligence 8, and luck 13. All right.
Not the face, guys. Not the face of the party.
And I am going to have things throughout this too where, when you complete things, there are chances to increase, when you're training, like we'll role play your actual training to level up, to be able to increase some of these stats and things like that as well. Okay.
Your priest should be the face of the party anyway, since his main thing is always personality.
Yeah.
Okay, so Naved's stats are in, and we're dropping down to Oro. So Oro, let me make you a level 0. Okay. Oro.
All right.
3d6, 7
there are
times.
4 of us, right? We've got.
Right now, there's 4 of you. Yep.
We've got a thief and a priest so far, and the 4th one. What are you thinking about being?
I was actually inclined. I was having a lot of fun being a priest, so I was kind of inclined to go to priest. But we'll see what we roll up. So.
Okay. So it sounds like we need a fighter. Huh? I've never played a fighter. I'm always playing elves and magi, but let's see.
I love fighters. They're great. The mighty
That
Deeds.
one's.
Yeah, I think fighters especially give you a lot of opportunity for roleplay because of the mighty deeds.
Oh, I love that. It makes it so much fun to play a fighter in this game. When you get really creative.
Yeah. 14, not too bad.
Nice
not too
roll.
bad.
Oh man, too bad.
I ran the Emerald Enchanter at my local game shop recently, and then when we were rolling up characters, one of the guy rolled an 18 for his first stat, and I was like, ooh.
Okay, I accidentally hit this 4 times, so I'm just going to roll 4.
If
'cause
you
I can't figure out how to.
if you do click too many times, you right click on it, and it'll decrease the number of die.
Okay, yeah, I just hadn't figured that out yet. So. Okay, here it comes.
So 10 doesn't count, right?
Yep.
14.
All right, 2 14s, not too bad.
How many more rolls do I have?
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 more.
Oh man.
Take it. That one's gonna be replaced unless you roll worse. All right. There we go. So we've got 2 14s. Do you know where you want your 14s?
Let's go for fighter or dwarf. Let's just try a traditional fighter. I just haven't played one yet, so let's go strength.
Okay.
And let's see. After 14, the next is 11. So I'm gonna go strength and stamina.
Okay.
For the 14s, and 11 for agility.
Okay.
Wow, that's terrible.
It's right in the club.
So 7, 8, and 8.
Yeah, let's put 10 luck, 8 personality.
The 10 was your 46. So you have 2 8s and a 7.
Oh,
yeah, 2 8s and a 7.
Okay. So luck is 8, and then intelligence and personality. Let's put intelligence 8, personality 7.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Big dumb brute.
All right, Tom. Let me make your character 0 level NPC. There we go. All right, 3d6 times 7.
Let's see what we get.
Nice.
Is that showing up for people?
Yeah,
I'm not
you rolled
seeing
it.
it
You
in
rolled
the
a 12. Yep.
chat. That's what I thought.
13.
Oh.
All right. Off to a good start.
12, 13. I'm not seeing them actually. They're not showing up in the chat for me. Let me just refresh.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ah, now I see them.
Perfect. 10.
Mediocre,
Hey, at least it's still double digits.
but nothing bad. Is that a 9?
That was a 10.
10.
So is another 10?
Yep.
That looks like you're going to be our strongest character.
Nice.
Ooh, your first single digits. 8.
That's an 8. Okay, so done.
So 2 more.
Okay, so 2 more, right? So I'm at 5 now?
Yep.
It's another 8.
Yep.
Oh, finally a dog shit one. So, all right. Well, I guess
So
that is
13's the
one
highest.
positive. 13's the max. Okay. Let's see. What do I want to play? Let's do an elf.
Okay.
Seeing as we've got a priest, right?
So Tom, you can play as a priest. I'll change. I'll play as a halfling.
Sounds good. Okay.
Ooh,
I'll
interesting.
play a priest then. Let's go for a. I'll put the 13 into personality.
Okay.
I'll put the 12 into luck.
12 into luck. Okay.
I'll place the 10 into. Let's see. Oh God. I'll put an 8 into intelligence.
8 in intelligence. Okay.
I'll put God. Yeah, the eights are hurting because of the minus. I'll put an 8 into agility. And then 10s into stamina and strength.
Okay.
We are a dumb party.
We are really stupid. Yeah, we are really stupid.
Well, you're starting out as just villagers, so it doesn't make it makes sense. So you guys will have the ability to become great heroes.
So what are we? We're halfling, thief, priest, and warrior.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so for that then, next is going to be our occupations. So do you want to roll randomly, or you can pick?
I'm the barber.
If I can pick, I can pick.
I'm totally into rolling random.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and start with Callie.
It does determine your starting weapon though, as well, if that matters to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's worth looking at if you have a certain weapon you want.
Okay, so
I really want to be a halfling chicken butcher.
halfling chicken butcher.
Nice.
Yep.
All right, so halfling chicken butcher. Okay,
That's
Yep.
awesome.
halfling chicken butcher. Oh, I think you were already putting it on there, weren't you? Okay,
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, I'll let you do that then. All right, so perfect. Lawful, or which alignment we going with?
I don't know. I want to be friends with the thief since the beginning. Who's the thief again?
Me, the barber.
So, are you okay if we like companions, like before the
Sure.
adventure begins?
Yeah.
So,
no
what is your
problem.
alignment?
I'm chaotic because I'm gonna be a backstabby thief.
Oh fuck no! I'm gonna be neutral.
All right, perfect.
I was a good guy. I was a nice guy, and then they did that shit to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be your moral compass, so actually I'm gonna be lawful.
Lawful?
All right, that's me.
Ooh,
Okay, so
Yeah,
let me do that.
I'm gonna be like his moral compass.
Okay,
Nice.
so oops, I already flipped off the page.
Stop
Yeah, I'd
stepping
like to
him.
think like I had companions. I was a good guy in the village and everything, and then just it all went wrong, and then it went dark.
All
But
right.
there's still people who know me from before, and they're like, "Hey, man, stop going that way."
So weapons wise, you have a hand axe
And 5 pounds of chicken meat.
and 5 pounds of chicken meat. All right.
We're not gonna go
So-
hungry.
Where is?
So there's a class you can play called like something like the cockatrice or something like that. And if you're a farmer who survives with a pet chicken, a funnel, you can create this class of a chicken or a cockatrice PC. So it's in one of the Goodman
Wow.
games is newsletters. So
Nice.
Does it have stoning, petrification?
something like that. I'd need to look it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was really pretty
cockatrice.
funny.
In the
Pretty
old
cool.
D&D, cockatrice had a petrification gaze and did look like a chicken.
Yeah,
Okay.
and there was some.
So Callie, go ahead and roll me a D24. That's going to be for your additional starting equipment. A 24 starts you with a water skin. All right, and go ahead and roll me 5d12. This will be your starting copper. $47, not too bad. Okay, we'll do hit points and that other stuff next. So we'll move on to the next person there. So we got your halfling chicken farmer or chicken butcher. You've got your hand axe, you got your chicken meat, and you've got a water skin and 47 copper to start out. All right, Nived, you're
Yep.
choosing barber. So
Yep.
a barber starts with
Scissors and a razor blade.
razor and scissors. All right.
Guess what he uses the razor for?
So let's see. Occupation items. A razor.
And that's kind of how I started out, as I was actually a barber, and I got one of these people into my shop, and just kind of like, yeah, I'll give you a shave. Hang on, lock the door.
All right. Yeah, that'll be the thing that brought you out of the depression and into the desire. All right, roll me a d24 for your additional starting equipment. A 12. All right. A 12 is holy water, 1 vial.
That's funny.
You took that off of the person you killed.
Nice.
All right.
The
And
fake priest that ratted out after confessions and
right,
stuff.
5d12.
Okay. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
34 copper
34.
pieces. All right.
Okay.
All right, Oro.
All right, I'm gonna choose to be a mercenary with a longsword and a hide armor.
Okay.
And his story is that he was the guard for that fake priest. He was a hired
Nice.
hand for that, and the assassin bribed him to be off his guard that night. And they've just been they ended up being drinking buddies after that, and been sort of partners in trouble ever since.
Nice.
All right, so that gives you a long sword and hide armor. Okay. Go ahead and roll your d24 for your additional starting equipment. A 9 is a grappling hook.
That's useful.
And 5d12. 35. Okay. Tom. What is your starting occupation? Are you rolling for it?
I'm rolling.
Okay. D100. Oh, there you go. Perfect. You got the table. A
Customer. What is it? Remember what a customer is? That a fruit seller?
Yep.
All right.
You rent a fruit cart. That's what you do.
Sounds good.
Costermonger. All right. So then, you are probably from the south region of the city where all the farms and stuff are. So perfect. Okay. With that, you have a knife. It's gonna be over here.
My trusty fruit knife, slayer of evil.
Why am I missing K on here? There it is. Knife as dagger. Okay, and then you have some fruit. And go ahead and roll me the D24 for your other equipment. A 24, so you have a water skin as well. And 5d12. $24 copper pieces. Okay. Everybody's occupation to start. At the end of each of your occupations, I'm going to put kind of what class you were playing as. So, Callie, you wanted to level up as the cleric? Or no, you weren't going to level up as cleric. You're going to level up as halfling. So you're already there. You're already halfling. It's already in your occupation. So don't have to worry about that. Neved, you were going to be the thief.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, helps if I can spell right here. I type too fast sometimes. All right, there we go. Oro, you were going to be our warrior.
Yep.
Okay. And Tom was going to be our cleric. Think you're all
What
okay
alignment
with
is our
that?
cleric going to be?
Oh, yeah.
Probably
can be a different-
neutral, I think. Neutral,
okay.
I think.
Okay, so
That's
cleric,
good.
neutral. And Oro, did we get your alignment, your lawful, or
No, he's gonna be chaotic.
chaotic? Okay.
Nice.
So we got two chaotics. We got Callie and
Awesome.
Oro as chaotic. Oh, no, sorry. The halfling was...
No, Kali is lawful.
Callie is lawful. That's right.
The halfling
Sorry.
is lawful. So the warrior is chaotic too?
Yep, so the thief and the warrior are both chaotic. Okay, perfect.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh shit, I'm a good guy.
It's
The
all
middle.
good. It's all good.
Hey guys, stop it. Stop killing everybody, guys.
All right.
You're short, so we put up with it.
Yeah.
We are going to go ahead and roll our HP now. So, Callie, starting with you, roll me a D4, and your D4 will be +0.
Just a question. I think I missed. Did we roll the luck score already?
We have not yet.
Okay. So 1d6 for my HP.
HP to start is a D4. Your 0
Oh
level is
yeah,
a
because
D4.
it's a level 0. Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
Please, come on! Oh god,
And I'm terrified of this, to be honest.
this is the worst character I ever wrote, and I love it.
All
Oh,
right.
1 hit point. Oh my god, you might not even survive.
Neved, you're next.
I'm terrified.
A chicken can kill me.
Ew.
Well,
2.
Oh,
All right.
That's-
this is
that's
brutal.
all true as of 4 as it is of 1. So
Don't worry, you guys. So you're every kind of encounter. So when you guys are doing like the tournament games, that's all going to be experience. So chances are, by the time the tournaments and all that kind of stuff are over, you'll have enough to get close up to that level 1. So you'll be all right. All
I'm gonna
right.
take damage. The tournament.
Right. You're doing the cart muscle, like the cart pulling, and you strain your back too much and take a point of damage and die.
You trip, fall, and die.
All right, Oro, a D4. Oof, another 1.
Oof.
All right, and Tom. Man,
Wow.
everyone's a little bit squishy today, huh?
Wow.
All right. I go here and modify any agility for initiative that we need to. Our halfling's speed is 20 feet. All
A
right.
strong wind could wipe out our
And your AC stays at 10. Neved, your agility is +2, so your AC is 12. Your initiative is +2.
Okay.
All right.
I can dig it.
Oro, your agility is +0, so AC stays at 10, initiative stays at +0. And Tom's agility is -1, so his AC is 9, and his initiative is -1. All right. Done, 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 done. Okay, so for our kind of rolling up our ideas for your kind of bonds to each other, I know one of you said you guys wanted to be drinking buddies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a character
I did a
relationship.
lot of drinking in the early years.
I have a character relationship for drinking buddies. I listed it as take one down and pass it around. 1, 2, 3, 4 flagons of ale on the wall. So it says, Blank and I would often compete together in drinking competitions. When Blank and I are together, my competitive nature gives me a +2 to drinking checks. So one of you guys will have this ability. So who was the one that called it out that they wanted to be drinking buddies?
That was me.
Sorry.
Oro.
Oro? Okay, so Oro, you will have this in there. And your drinking buddy was Neved?
Yep.
Okay, so when you are with Neved, you will have a +2 to your drinking checks.
Excellent.
And I'll change your names in here once you guys come up with your actual character names. So you have time to think about that.
I've got a name. Hundo Redhand.
Okay, go ahead and put that into your character then if you would like.
I was looking for it, but I couldn't find it.
Double click on your character, and then the very top you'll see Callie, Neved, Oro, Tom. Right there is your name. You can change
Gotcha.
that.
Where's the table that you said was for the bonds?
It's in a separate sheet that I have in Google Docs, so it's not in here. All right, so let me type this up for him really quick. When Neved and I are together. Actually, you know, the easiest thing to do would just be to copy and paste this over and then just put the name in there. I can, you can either roll on it because I have it as a roll table, or I can read them all to you and you guys can kind of like pick one, or you can come up with your own, like use what I created for inspiration.
Can you share it and then we can look at it?
Can I
Or
do
just
that?
read it out?
Oops. Yeah, give me a second here for Hundo Red Hands, and I will then read them out for you.
Window red hands. Awesome.
And I'll read them out for you.
I'm looking for a character portrait right now. An ugly rogue.
So these bonds will be in your notes. Okay, so for Hundo, Neved and I would often compete together in drinking competitions. When Neved and I are drinking together, my competitive nature gives me a +2 to drinking checks. All right, saved. Okay, so what I have here is, starting with 1, there's 12 of these total that I kind of put together. So 1, Blank witnessed me stealing something from a merchant at the market. He confronted me, but let it go after I shared the goods. The bond, when I am with Blank, I have a +2 on sleight of hand checks in relation to stealing or picking locks. The second one, while repairing the bottom of my cart, the wheel came off and I was pinned under and nearly crushed. Luckily, Blank was there and lifted the cart enough for me to get out. Your bond is, I fear small spaces, but I will do anything to repay my life debt I owe to Blank. 3. As children, Blank and I would often go watch the soldiers train and pretend that we were great knights in the king's army. When blank and I are within 5 feet of each other, I gain a +2 to AC.
Ooh.
Number 4 was the drinking one. Number 5, blank and I were stranded together due to a sudden storm in the mountains. We only survived by hunting together and holding each other at night to keep warm. The bond, while I am with blank, I have a +2 to survival checks in tracking, but I also feel the need to sleep in very close proximity to others. The 6th is
Hilarious.
I admire blank's skill at blank. I study his skill and hope to learn from it. And your bond is when with blank, I have a +1 to the related skill check and hope to become more proficient. Number 7. I have been envious of blank's status for years. I have stolen letters and been working on forging his signature and writing in order to somehow ruin his good name or steal some of his wealth or favor. While I am not inside of blank, I have a +1 to sleight of hand checks when forging documents. I also have a +1 to insight checks against that person. Number 8. Blank has bested me in combat on several occasions. This causes me to train regularly and attempt to best him in the future. While in combat with blank, I have a +1 to hit against all targets as I attempt to outperform him. Number 9 is blank served me the most delicious meal I have ever had. I hope to one day return the favor with a delicious meal of my own. While making food for blank, I have a +1 to perform a check to cook something delicious. I kind of put like a general DC in here. On a success, those who eat it gain an additional, basically, hit die of healing. All right. Number 10. Blank swindled me on a deal years ago. Since then, I have honed my skills at identifying the value of items. While I am with blank, I have a +2 to insight in relation to the value of items. Number 11. I swindled blank years ago by convincing him the value of an item was much higher than its actual worth. While blank is not within sight, I have a +2 to persuasion checks to convince someone the value of an item. And lastly, number 12, I witnessed blank sneaking away from a crime scene. And then I have kind of like a blank crime, whatever that crime happened to be. The bond, I have blackmailed blank, and she will do nearly anything to avoid the truth coming out. Like anything for me to avoid the truth coming out. So those are some of the kind of the things that I put together just to kind of, if you can like wanted to roll on that, if you wanted to use one of those, or if you wanted to kind of use that as inspiration for an idea of a bond with somebody.
I'll roll randomly.
Okay. So Tom.
I'll choose one.
Okay. Tom rolled an 8. So an 8, that is bested me in combat on several occasions. This gives me, this causes me to train and attempt to best him in the future. So this gives you the +1 if you are fighting with him, that you have a +1 to outperform him. So this is going to be like if you're within like 5-10 feet of that person fighting with him.
So I'd make that with the warrior, and if the warrior wanted to take the, I think it'd be thematic if the warrior wanted to take the, we kind of hung out and pretended to be knights, so you get a +2 AC within 5 feet of me. That might be reciprocal, right?
Yeah.
We both went and watched knights, and my character got their head kicked in by the warrior appropriately.
All right. So Oro is going to be the warrior. All right. So let me go ahead and throw that in here for you. While in combat with... And I'll update the names in here too. So right now I'm just going to put your Discord name in there. While within close combat, 5 to 10 feet. With Oro, I have a +1 to hit against all targets as I attempt to outperform him. Okay. That is saved. Okay. Oro, did you want to... Oh, sorry. Oro is our warrior. So he already has the drinking one.
Oh.
That is fine. So you can still have yours with Oro. That can still be your bond. Okay, so we'll jump over to Callie. So Callie, did you want to roll or pick? Or did you have your own you wanted to come up with?
Um, you know what? I'm gonna roll
You gonna roll? Okay.
because it says so many. So the list size. So basically, my background is gonna be with the thief. So I'm just gonna be like his good counterparty, basically there. Um, but I can roll. Which dice?
D12.
Is that D10, right?
D12.
12. Okay. Let's see how it goes.
That is actually fucking perfect. I witnessed blank sneaking away from a crime scene. All right. So with that, you witnessed. That was Neved, right? Neved was going to be our thief?
Yep.
Okay. So I witnessed Neved.
Maybe my first kill.
Right?
Hmm.
Neved
The first snitch.
sneaking away from a crime scene. And that is murder. Murder does not have a W in it. There we go. Okay. And then you have blackmail. All right, so Neved, you will basically do almost anything for your halfling compatriot here to avoid the truth coming out about what you did. So you guys can role play what that is like. All right.
Okay.
Neved, did you want to choose a role?
Yeah, can I can you read me the +2 to what was the +2 to AC one again?
That is, as children, Blank and I would often go watch soldiers train, pretend that we were knights in the king's army, and that gives you a +2 to AC if you are fighting within 5 feet of each other.
Both
Okay.
get it, or one, or he gets it.
He gets it. Yeah, the barber gets it.
Yeah, I'm thinking that might be good because if I'm ever at the front line with one of the fighters, then I'm not gonna have because I'm a thief, I'm not gonna have heavy armor.
Mhm.
So I think the plus AC might be good for me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that bond will be with Oro as well, then? Or do you want it with Tom?
Who's the one that saw me commit the crime? Which character was that?
That was Callie.
The,
Oh,
the halfling. Callie, right?
Yep.
Okay. Try and make a note of these. Saw me.
Oh, but my name is not. It's not Kali. I changed now. It's gonna be Half Pint.
Okay. Yeah, I'll update the names. Yeah, I'll update the names for you guys.
I'm gonna be the barber then. We're gonna have these funny names. Half Pint the barber.
Yep. All right. So who is your bond with? Who is it that you trained with?
I guess maybe Oro because we're already drinking buddies, so that might be like why we're drinking buddies too. We grew up together.
Okay. So Oro and I would often go watch the soldiers train and pretend, and we were knights in the army. So okay. So when you are within 5 feet of Oro, you'll have a +2 to your AC.
Oro's the warrior, right?
Yep.
Okay.
How do we have the ability to add a picture?
You can send me the pictures, and I'll upload them and get them in here for you. So you guys can spend some time if you want to find your portrait that you want, and then I'll tokenize your portrait and put it in here, and then
Is
we'll
it
go from
10 feet or 5 feet?
there. For that one, you know what? I'll make it the 5 to 10 feet as well.
Okay.
Okay.
So
All right, that is your bonds. Let's see if there was anything else we needed to do here. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go ahead and upload this image to show you guys what the first city looks like. So let me create a folder here.
I put my face in our Discord.
Perfect. I will pull it from there and get that changed for you.
But what about the luck sign?
Oh yes, thank you. We have not done that yet, so let's do that next.
Page 18 has it.
Okay, so there
30 of them.
is a rollable table for you if you want to roll in the level rollable tables. There
Can
is
we
one
choose
for
it?
your luck score. For this one, I'm gonna say we're gonna roll the luck sign
All right.
because it is luck. We'll see what you
Okay.
get. So that was our Tom. You get all Harsh Winter, all attack rolls. All right.
How'd you do that, Tom? How'd you roll automatically?
So
Just
above the
to
chat,
roll.
yeah, above the chat, there's like an open book, which is your journals. Right next to that is rollable tables. If you click on that, you'll see one for luck score. You just click on the dice, and it'll automatically roll it for you. All right, I will add that to
Well,
your
that's
notes
gonna be
as well.
that's gonna be bad if my luck gets down low though.
True. Yeah. Your attack
Oh
rolls
my
will
God, I
get
can't see
even
them.
lower.
It's on the core book text.
No, what you want to do is you want to so on the right hand side of the screen where the chat is, up at the above, there's a several different
Or no?
icons. There's one that says rollable tables.
Ah, okay. So now, okay.
Did that roll or? So I'm hitting that dice.
Yeah. So for Oro, I got 20. Struck by lightning, reflex saving throws.
Ooh, nice. I got armor class again. That's perfect.
Okay, so that
I
was.
love that.
So Callie, let me do yours. Lucky sign. Because a 0 level character doesn't have a spot for it on their normal sheet. So lucky sign.
Oh, Nivea got a good one.
Third song.
Armor
Yeah.
class.
I love that.
Tom
That's
as well, attack
amazing.
rolls. And I can speak chicken 3 language now.
Can you speak chicken? That would be hilarious if you talk to the chickens and butcher them.
Can I DM? Can I speak?
I'd be like, your
can I
morality is
speak
very
chicken?
questionable, my friend.
I
You
did.
make friends with them and then kill them and eat them.
I did have a wizard who could speak horse, which he never really used it, but I thought it was a useful thing. Like you can actually
Yeah.
talk to the horses.
You get like increase on your checks to like calm and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, although
Speak
this
chicken.
that goblin market thing we're doing, I have a character who's an animal trainer, and it proved incredibly useful in this. Like first, like a bear like broke out, and I calmed the bear with a roll, and then I tried on this owl bear that was not very successful, but then ended up getting this like ranged for a griffin. So she's like she turned her animal trainer into like she actually has a griffin now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, all of your lucky signs are updated. Okay, now let me go back in and update.
Is there
these.
any language in particular that you'd say that is useful in your setting so I could choose?
Most, I mean,
Because I don't want to grab like eagle and I never use it.
Eagle.
it's all the common languages you would expect, as you have, mostly humans, but there are dwarves, halflings, elves, all about as well. You know that there are goblinoids in the region. In this area, because of the Order of the Gauntlet, most magical beasts and creatures, they're rare to find, but they do pop up from time to time again. So any kind of magical creature language would be rare. Any lawful or chaotic, language.
You know what?
would
I'm
be
gonna
available.
speak chaos.
Chaos. Okay.
Just because if the thief starts speaking stuff in chaos, I can't understand.
Perfect.
I start having conversations with Shadow in the corner.
Or thieves dance, yeah.
The language of mortal.
All right, I'm doing this all manually here. I'm gonna get the map for Ravenswood, your hometown, put in here. That way we can walk you through what that looks like.
But
Yeah,
he should be handsome. He should be a little bit older too, because it was his son that was taken.
yeah. I googled medieval faces and then just started.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was doing ugly villain portrait. Let's try disfigured. I hesitate though to do that in Google.
Oh yeah.
Some things you just shouldn't Google. You always end up regretting. Wow, yeah, okay.
Okay.
We don't go that far.
Figure ownership. You will all be observers. Okay, I'm going to share with you right now the map of Ravenswood. Alright, so you all should be able to see that, whether it popped up for you or not.
I got it.
In Discord, or where is it?
In actual Foundry.
Okay.
It'll also be under. It'll also be under the journal entries. So if you go to the journals tab, you will see that there now. Let me go ahead and change ownership of the folder to everybody's observers, so you see it. Okay, so looking at Ravenswood. You guys have been here for quite a while, whether you grew up here or have come here and been living here. You guys can make those decisions. Like I said, at the end of the session, I'll send you guys a few questions that you guys can fill out and just send back to me. Just send them back to me in direct messages on Discord. Mm-hmm. But Ravenswood has a population of a little over 1,000 people. It's the main town is basically the mayor, quote unquote, person in charge is the Timberfells. It's Count Timberfell, his wife, and 3 children. They run the timber business in Ravenswood and Elms Reach. Count Timberfell kind of set himself as the self-appointed mayor of Ravenswood, as he's the richest person. He's affluent and well-educated, but greedy. He charges taxes to cross the river into Ravenswood. The Southern District, which is District 4 down there, is run by the Orvines. It's Hector Orvine and his 2 sons. He is widowed. He runs several of the larger farms and vineyards, producing wine, ale, produce, and cattle. And he is fat, obnoxious, and constantly drunk. So going through the districts here that you see, number 1 in the middle there, that's your central square with a large temple to Goron. Has several inns, taverns, and shops. Area 2, that kind of yellowish color area, is the Cat Bowl. It is more of a business district with shops and some homes. Has inns, taverns, and shops, and lots of stray cats running around, which is where it got its name. Area 3 on the right there, along the large lake and where the river passes through, is known as the Port Quarter. It has a bunch of warehouses and lumber mills, as well as taverns. And river boats run the lumber down from Elms Reach along the river into the lake. It comes through here to be processed and then sent downriver towards the ocean, towards Tidemarch. Area 4, the southern area there, is called Cattle Song, and it's where most of the farms, windmills, and vineyards are. Produces a majority of all the food, ale, and wine for the surrounding areas. It's run by the Orvines, who act nice, but everybody knows do not get along with the Timberfells. And then there is a small temple to the south to Shul. It's a very, very small temple for Shul. So here in this region, Goron is the main religion, but other ones, are worshipped as well.
That's Gron is elemental earth.
Goron, I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't think I have I need to get the DCC annual, so it tells me more about Goron. Goron. Under Cleric has all the main deities here. Goron is the helmed vengeance, god of valor and chivalry.
Oh, okay.
All right. To the north, that kind of reddish color there is the North District. This is mostly homes of craftspeople and laborers. There's a small temple to Dianther, the dwarven smith god there, and there's a cemetery along the northwest road. And then the last district, District 6, in the bottom left corner there, the smaller one, is known as Breadbridge. The small bridge right there is used to bring a lot of grain and other things over. There's a lot of bakeries and things of that sort here in Region 6. So the small bridge used to transport grain and other items to the bakeries and shops in this area. Here there is a very large windmill next to the bridge, which is used to process grain. So that is the village of Ravenswood that you guys all live in and around.
Who was the snitch? I feel like the first kill I made was the snitch who snitched on me.
Absolutely. I'll have you guys put those in those little things that you send me, or you can put them in your character notes. So if you double click on your character, you'll see that notes tab, and you can put whatever you want to put in there for your character's background. You can absolutely put in there.
Are you gonna put that information that you just read out to us? That'll be in there. I might try to.
About Ravenswood.
No? Yeah. You mentioned a bunch of people and a bunch of district information.
Yeah. I'll share that information. I'll basically in the journals, there'll be a folder for Valtara. There will be as you guys explore and find different things, I'll create new journal entries. And in those journal entries, I'll have the information that I kind of give you guys. To a point, like certain areas that you discover, I'm not. If I read you something, I'm not going to put it in there because it'll be up to you to take notes or remember it because your character may not remember. All right.
The 8 intelligence.
Yeah, but all the stuff about Ravenswood I'll put in there because you guys have been here for a good amount of time, so you'll know these things.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else I need to tell you guys ahead of time? I think everything else you're basically going to learn along the way. So I'll do another quick kind of just rundown about Valtara itself that I already read to you guys, just to give you that kind of intro. So our intro again. Our story begins in a small isolated region of Valtara, a region of mostly humans, with dwarves, elves, and halflings finding their place among the populace. The region is lush and full of life. The northern edge is bordered by a thick and dangerous forest. To the east, a jagged and treacherous mountain range, its highest peak shrouded in perpetual clouds. To the south, a widespread marshland consumes anything attempting to head south beyond the region's borders. Trade and visitors arrive through the western coastal city of Tidemarch, where the king rules over the region. Legends tell of a massive star falling out of the astral sea and landing somewhere in those eastern mountains decades ago. These stories started a rush of would-be treasure seekers and miners to travel to Valtara and explore the mountains. But over 700 years have passed and no star has been found, leaving just the stories, which many believe to be nothing more than rumors, used to lure people to this land in the hopes of growing the population and wealth. During this rush, many spellcasters came to this land, hoping the star could be found, and be a powerful arcane relic to boost their magical powers. As the years went by, magic seemed to creep into the wilderness, and strange creatures began to appear and cause havoc. Because of this, the central clergy of Goron created the Order of the Scales, a Templar group of mage hunters that tracked down and destroyed all magic users in the realm. You are all villagers living in and around the central town of Ravenswood, a peaceful settlement along the edge of Ravenswood Lake. It acts as the region's central trading and transport hub, and the lake is fed by a river coming down from the northern forest and runs out to the coastal city of Tidemarch. This town is in the midst of their annual lunar celebration to pay tribute to the summer solstice. The celebration is known as the Day of Fates. Vendors line the streets, bards and minstrels fill the air with music, street performers entertain the people with lavish acrobatic shows, and tournament games have begun. The prizes on offer would entice any with a few extra coins to try their luck. So that is where we're starting out. I'll kind of read. The Day of Fates celebration is the summer solstice celebration. The Day of Fates is the culmination of a week-long celebration honoring patron deities and local saints. On the last day of the week, newborns are named, couples renew their vows of love, and oaths to the Lord and Liege are declared anew. It is a common practice for knights to embark on quests on this holiday, and it is deemed a blessed day for wizards to choose apprentices. Adventuring companies often choose this day to make their first vows of brotherhood. So as the celebrations and everything are going on, the tournaments, you guys basically are going to be able to choose which tournament you participated in. And you guys are basically on the last day of the celebration, and you guys are basically made it to the final rounds of these competitions. So the competitions on display are going to be... you have the stone cart competition. So this is your strength checks. You do lift and pull carts with stones, adding additional stones each round. So this will be strength checks versus an increasing difficulty. The entrance was 20 copper, which you guys have already paid. You don't have to worry about paying additional out of what you rolled. You guys saved up for this in anticipation. The first place winner will win 200 copper pieces along with leather armor. Second place will win 40 copper pieces plus a deer hide blanket. And third place wins 20 copper pieces plus a small cart, like a wheelbarrow type thing. The archery competition is target shooting, and these will be agility checks. So basically it's going to be a D6 plus your agility modifier. If you have a background that would include, hunting or something like that, I'd give you like an additional +1. And how it's going to work is you'll make 3 of these D6 rolls plus your mod. Best total of the 3 wins, and there's 3 rounds. Then
What are the prizes?
the prizes for that one is, again, 20 copper pieces to enter, which if you're in this competition, you already paid. First place wins 200 copper pieces, along with a longbow and a quiver of arrows. A second place wins 60 copper pieces plus a short bow. And third place wins 40 copper pieces plus a sling. Then there is dance and socialization. So basically there's going to be a large kind of just celebration at the end of the night where people get together and there's music and dancing and socializing and all that kind of stuff. Everybody can participate in that. These are basically going to be like personality checks. And depending on your personality check, you can choose whether you want to like increase favor with somebody in the town or if you want to roll on kind of like the rumors and information table. And I have a bunch of rumors for like the area. The next competition is the drinking competition. So these will be basically stamina checks versus a DC. And each round you get a -1 to that check. There'll be, again, 20 copper fee to enter. First place wins 100 copper pieces along with a water skin of fine wine, which is worth an additional 10 gold pieces. Second place wins 60 copper pieces along with basically a jug or a small cask of local ale, which is worth 2 gold pieces. And third place is 40 copper pieces along with an ornate drinking mug, which is worth 2 silver pieces. Then the last competition is another strength check. It's wood cutting. So this is like a chopping competition. So they basically have logs that are upright, and you're basically going to be head-to-head against other competitors. You're going to do strength checks, and the first to reach, I wrote this down somewhere, I think it's first to win, or first to reach 100 on your checks, basically chops the log down first. It's first, second, and third place. First place gets 200 copper pieces along with a battle axe. Second place wins 100 copper pieces along with a hand axe. And third place wins 40 copper pieces along with a wooden shield.
What is this one again?
This is like wood cutting. So they basically have a large log set up, and you're trying to cut down the log before your competitors. So you'll roll strength checks.
And that's strength.
Yep.
Okay.
Strength checks, and first to reach 100 total on their checks wins. So you'll just each person will chop, and they'll roll, and each roll will be additive. And as soon as the first person reaches 100, they get first place, second, and third, and so on. So you guys can think about which of those competitions you want to participate in. And I will...
No chicken butchery.
no chicken butchery, unfortunately, no.
Is there a luck contest?
There is not a luck contest, but...
Like rolling dice?
I can probably put one together and come up with something for you. So we'll do a kind of a gambling one, and I'll come up with something for that I'll put in the chat for you guys. So when you choose what you want to do, this will be one of your kind of homework assignment things where you let me know what competition you want to participate in, and I can come up with something for luck. All right.
We're not going to do these tonight.
We're not going to do this tonight. This is just our 0 level, our session 0 to get our characters put together, start building out our roleplay ideas, get the characters' tokens put together so that we can get that all finalized for you. So by the time we come and start the next session will be our first session as these new characters. We'll go through these competitions and start the story from there.
Are we still doing these every 2 weeks?
Yes, still going to be every 2 weeks. And again, don't worry if you have to miss a session. I do anticipate at some point characters coming in and out, so there will be times where characters will level beyond you, or you might level beyond somebody else. So give it a couple months from now, we may have several different levels of characters playing.
I posted a portrait in the chat.
Perfect.
In the Discord chat.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah, those first 2 weeks of October might be tricky for me.
That's fine.
But we'll see what happens there.
All right.
Guys, check this out. The barber. Look at this picture in the Discord chat. Is that an ugly barber?
Yeah, I would say so.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's awesome.
Is that a 6 personality barber?
I would say so.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with that.
All
Do you want me to square it up?
No, it's fine. I'll take care of it. It's not a problem.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, because I'll put the portrait in exactly like that, and then I'll do the tokenizer, which is a circle, and I'll just center it.
Awesome.
Perfect. All right. Anybody else have any questions that they want to go over now? I open the floor to you guys.
No.
Okay then. Then with that, I think we'll wrap up today a little bit early, 9:30. So for our
sorry,
session...
Cheryl. I was in mute. Just one quick question.
Okay.
Are we from now on? Are we going to play DCC Raw, or are you going to change anything in the rules?
It's going to be pretty much rules as written, so raw there. I was trying to think if there was anything. Luck will recover as normal, as halflings and thieves, and then anybody who doesn't naturally recover luck, there will be opportunities to recover that luck. So you don't have to worry about burning it and it being permanent. But we will need to role play how you get that luck back, which again. Role playing your character really well, that kind of stuff, your bonds, all that kind of stuff. Like I can award at the end of sessions and stuff, like recovering some of that luck and things like that.
Nice.
We'll do the fleeting luck. The fleeting luck, generally when you roll a natural 20, your character gets a fleeting luck, but I'm going to treat it as when you roll a natural 20, everybody in the group kind of is bolstered from that. Everyone's like, oh yeah, and basically recovers from that, and they gain that fleeting luck. And then when something absolutely terrible, it kind of like everybody's nervous from that, or everybody gets kind of worried and they lose that fleeting luck. So it'll be a one for all and all for none kind of thing. Anything else anybody has for us?
No, it's gonna be awesome. Looking forward to it.
All right. Something I've done, I do have quite a bit of kind of like little starting things. So I will have a notice board with some of the local things that are going on that are, your basic little things that aren't super dangerous to get us up to level 1 prior to, heading out and doing more dangerous things. So that's why we're kind of not doing like a funnel. I'm going to have some things there. So you'll get experience from doing the competitions. Basically, depending on where you end up finishing in your competition will determine how much experience you get from it. And then from there, you guys will be able to either, get rumors from socializing or going around and doing things and use those rumors to go out and find and do things, or you'll be able to go to the message board near the tavern and find things that you guys can go do. And I think that's the main things. I don't think I want to give away too much additional stuff, as it's stuff you're going to learn through playing. So you guys know the Fallen Star story. Everybody knows that story. You guys know that spellcasters are rare to find, and the ones you do find are generally very secretive about it. The main spellcasters that you find are going to be, main clergy at the temples. They're going to be the ones. You don't find very many common people out there, casting holy magic and stuff. They're usually high up within in the local temples. There are temples to basically every kind of religion that you can possibly think of, but the main ones are Quran. Anything else is going to be very, very small temples, or even it could be like one room in a small building kind of temples set up for people to come and pray and do those kind of things. So any of the main large temples.
And remind me who Quran is the god of.
Quran is the Helmed of Vengeance, so she is the Helmed of Vengeance, god of valor and chivalry. And to the south of town, and Quran is a lawful deity. To the south of town, there is another lawful temple. It's very, very small. To Shul, god of the moon. And then in the northern district there's a small temple to Dianther, the mountain lord, greater god of earth and industry. So basically kind of like your dwarven smith god.
Where was that located?
In the northern district of Ravenswood.
No agricultural god appropriate for a fruit seller.
Let's see if there's any in the normal book here. We've got God of War, God of Peace, Lord of Creation. We got Justicia.
It's God of Nature.
Yeah, Ildavir.
That'd be a neutral, Ildavir. So you can absolutely assume that there is a temple somewhere for Ildavir, probably down in that southern district.
Yeah,
that might even be, if it's a goddess of nature, it might even be just outside of town, like near the woods.
Makes sense, like maybe an orchard or something like that.
Yep.
Just down the berries.
Pomona was the goddess of orchards in Rome.
All right, so I have no overarching story as of right now. So this is, I definitely want this to be something that you guys develop the world along with each other. Based off of your decisions, things will happen. And basically you guys will carry the story along as you develop your characters. This is going to be definitely the idea is to have you guys care about your characters and have them go from just a merchant, a peasant, just basically a general citizen, into developing into this hero of the region.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like we missed an opportunity for good drama without we're not getting an actual wizard because they're so bad.
There's always an opportunity. So like I said, as you guys go through, as other people join, because there's only 4 of us today, I know there's going to be more in the future, we'll have them roll up their characters ahead of time. If we have to, I'll just do it in the chat. You guys can communicate to determine what kind of bonds and stuff there are again. And other people will come along. And I'm sure usually when new people join, they ask, what's the party makeup? And we'll let them know. And so I'm sure we'll have a wizard at some point. And
a dwarf. We should have got a dwarf for the meteor outdistance.
Absolutely.
I mean, in fairness, you need a warrior, you need a thief, you need a cleric, you need a halfling. So I think a wizard is optional. Mm-hmm. But definitely having a halfling is a good thing.
Luck bank for the party.
All right.
Luck battery.
You do know that of the named cities in the area, there are 5 named cities. Outside of that, there are a lot of smaller settlements that don't really necessarily have names, or they have kind of like given names. But the 5 main cities. Tidemarch on the coast is the main city where the king lives. That's an actual fortified city along the ocean. That one has a much larger population. Then you have Ravenswood in the center of the map, which is where you guys currently are. Then you have Elm's Reach, which is the northern city along the northern forest. You've heard tales that the northern forest is impassable. There's a lot of dangers in that forest. A lot of the magical beasts and things that were basically pushed off, either went north or went south, as they couldn't really cross the mountains. So there are some in the mountains, but most of them are in the forest to the north or the marshes to the south. So a lot of logging and stuff gets done up north, and that wood comes down through Ravenswood out to the Tide March. Then to the south, there is a town called Oakdale. Still a very, very small town, like just larger than a small little settlement. It's a little bit larger, and it's called Oakdale. That the marshlands are referred to as the Mossy Mire and are practically impassable. As it gets so marshy the further you get in that it eventually becomes like you can't even walk on it. And then to the east in the mountains is a place called Iron End. And Iron End is a kind of a mining village. So a lot of iron and stuff like that gets mined up there. All sorts of, some precious gems and other things. And a lot of that, again, comes through Ravenswood to go back out to Tide March. So that's what you know about the area. Having been here for so long, you don't know many specific details of a lot of those other cities. You just happen to know that they're there and what they're kind of known for. All right. Outside of that, I don't think I had anything super pressing I wanted to give you guys ahead of time. I think that basically covers it all. The rest of it, like as I said, you will learn through play and through what you guys decide to do.
So the falling star came crashing down.
Yep.
And then what was the effect again that got everybody worked up?
So basically, the star was to believe it fell out of the astral plane and landed in the mountains to the east. People came looking for it, thinking it would be like a precious metal of some sort worth a lot of money. So that brought a lot of kind of like a gold rush. People came looking for it. They wanted to be the one to discover it and earn from it. And then casters also came, knowing it, or believing it came out of the astral plane or the astral sea. Believing it came from the astral sea, they believed that it could be used as a powerful arcane artifact to just increase their magic abilities. So as mages and wizards and all that came looking for it, they set up in different places, and because of that, magic started to run a bit wild as it was not really kept in check, and that magic seeped into the land and the area, and creatures started to transform. Other magical beasts started to appear and attack and create all this havoc, and from that chaos, the main clergy of Garon decided to set up a Templar order to fight off the creatures, and B, basically kill off or remove all magic users that weren't of holy magic, kind of like lawful holy magic, in order to stop it from spreading further in the future.
I actually took notes this time.
No problem. Yeah, the main stuff I've given you here, I will put in a journal here for you in the Valtara as well. The main campaign notes that you have here.
Are you going to give us the region map too for the different places you mentioned?
The region map, not yet, because again, you being local guys, there's not really necessarily region maps. Maybe a couple people, like the main traders and stuff, might have them, so that's something that you could possibly get in the future. But currently, as your general occupations that you guys have, don't necessarily have a region map, so I'm not giving that to you yet. But I do have one made.
Okay. Cool.
Let's see. Travel. When you guys do decide to travel outside, or if you guys decide to do something that takes you away from town, travel will be basically set up as we travel. If I think something should happen in that time, depending on how far you're traveling away from town, something will happen. And it won't necessarily be like random encounters, like I roll on a random table and these random creatures show up, because I want it to make sense. So I might come up with a few ideas of things that would make sense in that area, and then have you roll and kind of see if that pops up. And then you guys know that the further away from a settlement you get, the less safe you are. There's always raiders out there. There's always thieves and brigands and stuff like that. There's always the chance of wolves and other things like that too. So when you travel in small groups, it could be very, very dangerous. When you travel in large groups, it could be safer but take longer. those kind of ideas, and you guys can make those decisions as you go. Resting and healing will be normal DCC rules. So that's basically you, in the wild, recover 1 point of HP per night of rest. In town, 2 HP per night of rest. If you do suffer like a critical hit that gives you a damage, I will be making note of how much damage you took for that effect. Your arm is broken, so you can't, that kind of stuff. Because for DCC rules, the crit damage you take, or the damage from the attack, you have to heal that many in order to heal that wound. So those will be, all to the DCC rules for healing.
Okay.
And same for like the cleric healing. So if your cleric heals you for the number of hit points you took from that hit, it heals the wound as well.
Okay. So even you were saying before, even divine magic is pretty rare, right? Usually it's only in temples.
Yeah, divine magic will be mostly to like the clerics and things like that work inside the temples, and there's several. I mean, every religion basically you can find clerics. Lawful ones are all accepted. Neutral ones are tolerated, and chaotic ones, because the main clergy is lawful. Chaotic ones are basically underground. Like you'd have to know someone who knows someone to find it.
Okay, so how would that affect our cleric, who's neutral? Does he have to kind of hide what he's doing, or?
No, he doesn't have to hide what he does. So basically, neutral religions are tolerated. They're not persecuted in any way. They're tolerated. The Temple of Guran sees them as acceptable, like because they're neutral. They're not opposite for them. But they won't. The main Temple of Guran won't necessarily help other religions, because the Temple of Guran think that they are the main religion, the one that should be followed by everybody. But they won't persecute people of like neutral religions, especially like nature ones. But chaotic ones, anyone who worships a chaotic god, those ones, if they hear about it, will be investigated. You guys have heard stories about the Order of, the Order of the Scales. They were ruthless in their basically clearing out all arcane magic casters. Absolutely ruthless about it. And they were usually groups of 3 to 4 Templars, led by a temple preceptor, basically the leader, and then 4 acolytes, 3 to 4 acolytes with them. They would hunt down and kill like any unlicensed spellcasters. You've heard stories, not necessarily know it's true or not, but believe that there is at least one spellcaster who is sanctioned by the Order of the Scales in Tidemarch, who uses his magic to help protect the city as well.
So you said led by what? And then there's 3 to 4 acolytes.
It's
Who's the leader?
A temple preceptor. So here, I'll just copy and paste this into the in-game chat. So here in Foundry, it's a temple preceptor, and he usually has 3 to 4 acolytes with him, and these guys are usually quite powerful. Like you could assume these guys are like level 10. They're high level,
Yeah.
Generally. Or at least the preceptor is probably level 10, and his acolytes probably range from 5 to 9. Very powerful.
All right. So I would have only killed snitches so far. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't yet have my hands on them.
Yep. Yeah, and I kind of put in here that, and you would know this too, since there's a large temple to Guran, that followers of Guran are generally taught to despise, if not hate, non-religion casters. So those arcane casters who stories tell caused the chaos and all the monsters and stuff to appear years ago.
Are the Order of the Scales associated with a particular god?
Goron.
Ooh.
Yeah, the main clergy.
Okay.
So the Helm to Vengeance, God of Valor.
Okay, so they're basically Templars.
Yep.
Goron Templars.
Basically.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
and you've never seen it, but people tell stories because you probably haven't even seen an Order of the Scales for a while, because I mean this happened probably a couple hundred years ago, where the main clearing out of all magic users happened. So it's been like 200 years since everything got purged. So in that 200 years, spellcasters have learned to keep their abilities secret and hide, and practice and learn in secret. So through time of these stories of the purge, you heard that the temple preceptors have the ability to cast exorcise, to break a spellcaster's bond to their patron, to basically strip them of their arcane abilities.
Is the river that heads west, is that a navigable river? Like, can we take canoes or something up there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's quite a wide river, and there's constantly barges going up and down it, because this is the main way they transport goods to and from Ironend to not Ironend, to Tidemarch, to Ravenswood, and then from Ravenswood it spreads out to the other cities. So like I said, all the lumber comes down from Elm's Reach to the north, comes down the river here to Ravenswood Lake, where it comes to the port district or port quarter, where they have mills and warehouses where they basically process the wood, and then they put them on large barges that head down the river to Tidemarch, in order to either use it there in the city or to transport it out and for trading and stuff like that. And then stuff comes back up the river as well. Like they have barges that can pull up the river, in order to bring things from Tidemarch here. So instead of following the roads that are very treacherous and dangerous at times outside the city, they found a way of doing this is much safer to transport those goods, much less thievery and problems. Traders do still follow the roads and move things along that way. People who can't afford to pay the barge fees and stuff like that, or have carts and want to travel by road, could absolutely do that as well.
My mercenary knows it well. It's how he's made his living.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the mercenary may have a pretty good, fairly good knowledge of the area and stuff like that as well.